Hey everyone. There we are. Make sure we're in the right place. I see us. Let's see if we have comment. Yes, we do. Very good. So be sure and let me know you're here. Say hello. We'll give everybody a minute or two and then we'll jump in. I have a super cute card for you today. And one that's actually very easy to do. So again, we'll wait just a minute to give everybody an opportunity to find us. Make sure we're in camera where we need to be. Hopefully you, if you're here in the Louisville area, you've survived the crazy storm and don't have any damage. My goodness, it was crazy. Thankfully, we did not have any trouble. So thankful. But there were lots of trees and things down in various places, that's for sure. Okay. Again, we'll wait just a quick minute. I'm not hearing myself, so make sure you say hello so I know you're here and you can hear me okay. Hi, Miss Linda. All right. Well, wait just another minute. Hi, Linda Offfox. Happy Thursday to you as well. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I think you're going to love this card. I don't remember making this card before, and I love when I find new fun folds I can share. So hopefully it's new to you, or if you've seen it before, it's something you haven't done in a while, and you will try it again. All right, I'm going to wait. Boy, it is the night of the Lindas. Hello, Linda Lighting. We have Linda Offfox, Linda McFarland, Linda Lighting. Hi, Carol. Hope everything is good for you up in Michigan. My friend up there told me the weather is crazy. We had crazy weather here too. Hi, Tracy. Long time no see. My husband was just talking about you yesterday. He wants some more raisin bread if you're still making it. It was yummy. Yummy, yummy. He gets in a mood, you know, and he wants things. So you'll have to touch base with me and let me know if you're still doing it. There is not a lot of news to share. Hi, Diana. But we'll share anyway, right? Good. Sounds good. Thank you, Tracy. All right. I am going to go ahead and get started. Today is Thursday, June 18th, 2026, and this is our Facebook Live for this week here in DonnaStamps.com. Again, not a lot of news is going on. If you came to BOGO last week, well, a week ago, orders are starting to arrive. The first ones are coming tomorrow, so I'll be reaching out to all of you. If you didn't get to come to BOGO in person, have no fear. I am actually going to attempt to do an online version of what I have left, and it's a lot, in early July. So keep watching for that information. It'll work the same way. Whatever you purchase in retired products, you will get free on my online store of equal value. So again, just keep watching for that. The product of the month is super cute. It's called Wild Bunch. We actually used it week before last on some of our cards. And you can get it for $5 when you spend $75 before shipping and tax and after any rewards that are deducted. I have a feeling this one is going to sell out super, super fast. Some of them are lasting several months. I don't foresee this one lasting. So if it's something you want, it's a good time to get it now so that you don't miss out. But again, how can you not love these little critters, right? This little penguin, oh my gosh. Just so fun. Also, Club Cove for this month. You have 2 more days to sign up for it. Again, it is a subscription, but if you are interested in getting it for a one-time, you absolutely can do that. Just reach out to me. You make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs around a featured bundle. We are actually using that bundle for tonight's card, but I want to show it to you anyway. It's called Splash and Relax. It is super fun, little like pool style part. But look at these dies. There's flip-flops and a sippy cup and all kinds of just fun little things that you can add to your projects. And again, it's $30. It includes approximately $20 in products. So basically your class is $10. You do need the stamp set at least to complete the projects, but you have until the 20th to sign up. And if you're interested, just let me know and I'll be happy to get an invoice to you. As far as upcoming events for the rest of July, there are 2. Excuse me, the rest of June, there are 2. They're on the same day, pretty much at the same time. It's June 28th at 1 o'clock. It is at the Marine Corps League. You can do one or both. I promise you will have plenty of time to participate in either or. We're doing Stamp a Stack, which is our all occasion, 16 cards for each of 4 designs for $25. That does include your envelopes. And then we're also doing Stampin' Bunko, and we play 3 full rounds of Bunko, and that is for Stampin' Up! Gift certificates as well as product. And that's $30, and you'll also make 3 cards. So again, both of those, registration closes this Sunday for both. And so if you're interested in either one of those, please go check it out. If you are not currently on my email list, please let me know and I'll be happy to add you. You can also go over to DonnaStamps.com, my actual website, and a little form will pop up that you can fill up. I try not to inundate you. I do send out reminders. I send out a newsletter twice a month at the beginning and in the middle. And so that way you kind of always know what's going on, especially if you're not on Facebook a lot. Now, keep in mind to comment and share so that your name will go into the drawing for the card that we're going to do tonight. This is the card we did last week. It's a double flap card. Works like that. And I've got everybody's name in the hat that commented last week. So let's see who is going to get that. Okay, that's going to go to Carol Maloney. So Carol, I have your address and I will get that ready to go in the mail to you. And then of course, if you share my video, which I greatly appreciate, it's how we end up growing our community, just type the word shared in all capital letters and your name will go into a separate drawing for a stack of cards from my stash. And that is going to go to Andrea Knorp. So Andrea, I have your address also, so I will get those ready for you. And then of course, 2 things that you can get as a bonus from me. If you purchase the product of the month, I do send out about the first week of the next month, a tutorial of 8 projects using the product of the month. You'll get that for free. And then if it's $35 or more, of course, you will also get the embellishment as a thank you. And I promise it's a full pack. I've been using these like crazy. These are the natural matte dots. They have white, which you can't see, secret sea, old olive, and crumb cake. And they're wonderful. You can actually use your blends on the white ones to make whatever color dots you need. But I will send those to you free as a thank you. Hi, Patty. Good to see you. All right. Well, hi, Bernice. You snuck in on me. I didn't see you there. Let's see. Who else have I not said hello to? Hi, Nancy. Again, if you're here in the Louisville area or up in Michigan with Miss Carol, I hope that you survived the craziness of last night's storm because, oh my gosh, it was craziness. Crazy. I slept through most of it, I think, but a lot of people I know have got some major damage. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. What did I do with my stamp set? I put it over here. Okay, let's put this over here. Let's turn the camera down. A fellow demonstrator did this card, and I saw it, and I fell in love with it, so I decided I would do it with a couple of little tweaks, because, you know, we all have to do it on our own. This is called Splash and Relax. It is in the online store. It was part of the May online exclusives, I believe, but again, super cute, 2 stamping, double fonts, which you know I love, and then, of course, these adorable embellishments and die cuts, which we're going to use some of them today. But we're going to make a box front card, and we're going to be using Misty Moonlight, Lost Lagoon, Melon Mambo, and a little bit of Pool Party. But I want to show you this paper. Let me get my catalog so I can show you where it is. This paper is almost lost. If you go directly to the DSP within our new catalog, which of course starts on page, I always want to say 63. Yep, 63. This paper is not there. This paper is actually on page 70. It's called Everyday Essentials Mix and Match, and it is part of the Mix and Match product line that we have. I actually am in the process of working on a class for July that's going to feature this paper and some of the Mix and Match ephemera packs. So you will keep an eye on that, but I'm having a blast playing with it. What I love about this paper is, number 1, the color combinations, but number 2, the different patterns that you get, which truly will work for so many cards for both not only female but male, and you can just do so much with it. So let me just show you quickly some of the patterns. The paper palette, or the color palette, is Bubble Bath, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Lost Lagoon, and Misty Moonlight. So again, some really pretty patterns, and I think once you see them together, you'll agree. So you've got a crumb cake polka dot, a gingham, with this one. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, it's got some splatters, but it's also looks like it's been sanded. So again, very pretty. A very pretty little stripe. Again, great for male cards. I love this stripe as well with the splatters in the corners. This one, I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, but it looks like notebook paper. So great for scrapbooking, for journaling, all kinds of different things. And then it's got this really pretty floral. And the first thing I thought when I saw this was, oh, that would make some gorgeous sympathy cards. And then again, another pink. And this one's got some images on the side and looks like it's got some, I don't know if you can see it, some newsprint. But again, it all looks distressed. Again, beautiful. Just, I love these colors together. Another stripe, and then a great polka dot. So a great pack of paper. This is $13. And of course you get 12 sheets, 2 each of the 6 double-sided, but it's on page 70. So let me show you what we're going to do with it. We're going to start with a piece of Misty Moonlight. This is the normal 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 1/2, 1 3/4, 3 4 1/4. Now, don't worry, you don't have to write any of this down. As always, I will put everything up in the Creative Cove, and you'll be able to get all the measurements and everything there. You also need a piece of Lost Lagoon. This is 2 3/4 by 10.5, and you're going to score it in the middle at 5 1/4. You need another piece of Lost Lagoon. This is 3.5 by 3.5. A piece of Melon Mambo, that's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. A piece of Basic White, that is 3 by 3. And then you also need a piece of Basic White that is 2.5 by 5, and a piece of DSP that is 2.5 by 5. And so I'm pulling the color straightly out of the DSP, which is where I got that color combination. And then from that same pack with coordinating, this one has those same colors in it, just in a different striped pattern. And you need 3 of these that are 1 by 5 1/4. And then for your die cutting, you just need some scraps of Basic White, Melon Mambo, basically all the colors that we're using, plus a little bit of foil, silver foil. All right, let me kind of get situated here so I can get my pieces here. Okay, so what we want to do first is on our mark in the half, we want to go ahead and fold this card in half and burnish it. And you're going to want to make sure, where did my bone folder go? Right here. That you burnish this really, really well. But we're going to go ahead and start there. And you should be able to see that I've got my 1/2-inch score line to your left. And then you have 3 panels here, okay? On those 3 panels is where you're going to add these 3 1-inch strips. Now, you could do this later after you put the main mechanism of your card together, but I think it's just as easy to go ahead and put these down. Now, notice that this is the inside of our card, so I folded it in front, and I'm putting these on the front panel, okay? So those score marks should be on top when you're doing this card. Okay, so we'll add these. And this is super fast to put together. Okay, oops. I like fast and I like different, right? All right. Okay, so these are going to go here. Now, I'm going to use seal for this, but you could also, of course, use liquid glue or whatever your favorite adhesive is. Okay, so we've got those 3 panels down, right? Hey, Kim. Hey, Tracy. So now what we want to do is we have this little flap. And again, like I said, this is the front of your card. Okay, so if you were to open it, of course, now you don't see it. This is the inside. On that little flap right there, we're going to add some adhesive. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm going to move this, as you know, over here. And I want to make sure that I put adhesive all the way up to the edge because this card moves, okay? So we want to make sure that we've got plenty of adhesive there, okay? Now, you'll notice when you score all of these, and I should have done that a little better. Here I told you, make sure you score it good, and then I didn't do it. Let me grab my mat here real fast. This is why having a silicone mat is so important, okay? Turn this over. Put this down, score. Okay, there we go. I love my silicone mat for that exact reason. Okay, so now with this flap folded in, you'll notice you have your center score line plus 2 more. What you want to do is go to this center one right here. So one in from the center. You're going to fold that flap back and you're going to line this up and press, okay? And when you do, you make this little column right here on the front of your card, okay? So super easy. So again, make sure you go to the second one, so the center and then one back to the left to make this little pillar, okay? So we're gonna put that aside for just a second. We're gonna grab that piece that is 10.5 by 2 3/4. I've scored it already at 5 1/4, which is exactly half. And I'm going to score that as well. Bring in that piece of designer series paper, and that's going to fit right on the front of this card. Okay? And I want to make sure I've got good coverage. I'll flip that just, okay? And we're going to add that. Now this panel is going to go right here on your card, okay? So you can easily lay this down just to give you a little bit more room to work. And you want to make sure, of course, that you don't put it in upside down, but that it opens from the bottom. Again, I'm adding extra adhesive just to make sure everything's nice and secure. Okay. So that's going to be the basis of your card, and this little flap's going to open up, and of course this is where your message will go. So I'm going to lay that aside for just a second so that we can do our stamping and finish up. Now I have already done our die cutting for our elements, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Let me grab a piece of scrap paper. And like I said, our colors of ink are going to be Lost Lagoon, Pool Party, and Misty Moonlight. And again, I'm using the Splash and Relax. So I'm going to be using these 2 elements, the Hello Sunshine, and then the Wishing Happiness Flows Your Way. Okay, so I'm bring this one in first. And I'm going to start with my Pool Party. Now, you could stamp off if you want, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it full force. Just want to make sure I get good coverage. And I'm going to put this right up here. Like I said, this card was done by a fellow demonstrator, Heidi Collins, and I just fell in love with it and said, oh, I have to do it, because I love this paper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead while I've got my ink out and bring in that larger panel, and I'm going to ink this one up as well in the Pool Party, and I'm going to stamp this right down here. Now, a couple of people have asked me about the new ink pads and what needs to be done with them as far as both styles. As a reminder, only the 26 to 28 in colors are in the new magnetic pads, okay? This time next year in May, there will be a new color refresh where bright colors will come in, some colors may go away, etc. And at that time, all of the ink pads will convert to magnetic. Now, does that mean I can't use what I have? Does it mean Donna's going to go buy all new pads? No. I'll buy the new colors that come in that new pad style, but I will probably wait until these aren't working for me anymore, and then I'll replace them. Your ink refills and everything should work, okay? And so you shouldn't have any issue with that, but you can absolutely continue to use the colors that you have. You don't need to run out and buy new ones. Okay, now, I want to show you this real fast. So on this actual little floaty, you'll notice that there are some wide sections and some skinny sections. So this extra stamp that we're going to put over the top, it fits perfectly in those wide sections. So all we have to do is hold our tongue right. No, I'm teasing. Do you ever bite your lip when you go to stamp, especially, or put your tongue in your cheek? There we go. Okay, and I did want this to be a tad bit darker. And of course, the more ink that you lay down or maybe pick up, the stronger it's going to be. And I'm okay with that darker definition. Okay, so that goes like that. All right, so let me put this one away. And then we're going to bring in our Misty Moonlight, and we'll do our embellishments. Okay, so on the 3x3, we're going to stamp in Misty Moonlight. Make sure I pick up that little corner. I'm going to do Hello Sunshine down here in the corner. Just like that. And then on this piece, this is Wishing Happiness Floats Your Way. And honestly, this is a very quick card. So once you get your pieces cut, you'll be able to put these together very, very quickly. Okay, that's all the stamping we need to do. Move those out of the way. All right, so this one is gonna first get layered. I wanna make sure I don't have any wet spots, no. This one's gonna go on the Melon Mambo. And when I saw this color combination that Heidi did, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought to put Melon Mambo in here, but once you see it all together, I love the pop of color. It just really changes the whole aspect. And like I said, just for time's sake, I went ahead and did all of our little die cutting, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, so we're gonna put this on here, just like that, okay? And this one is gonna go on the inside. Now, you could, if you wanted, add a second piece of basic white and put it up on the top flap so that you could write your message, or vice versa. You could put this one at the top and put your empty one down at the bottom. Really up to you which way you want to do this. Okay. All right, so that's gonna go in there like that. Okay, and that's gonna go there. All right, now this element, okay, is going to fit here in the center. And what I want to do is I want to burnish that because I want it to lay a little bit flatter when it's closed. And this does, of course, come down to a standard card base. This piece is going to get centered on your card, okay? And we're going to put it on with dimensionals, and we're going to put the dimensionals on this panel, okay? So again, when this is closed, it's on this panel that pops up, okay? So I'm gonna grab some dimensionals, and I like to do it this way just because that way I'm assured, that I have them where they need to be, and I don't have to worry about them sticking out, or I put them in the wrong place, or they're not centered. And you have the ability to actually center it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I actually wanna put this up just a tad. In fact, let me do this first. Before I do this, I went ahead and cut out these stinking cute little flip-flops, okay? So the flip-flops here on your dies are right here, okay? And it's one die that cuts them both out. And then this is the little flip-flop part, the piece that holds your toes, okay? So I went ahead and I die cut out those in white with adhesive sheets on the back and came up with these little flip-flops. So cute. So I'm gonna take these and put these down flat, and these are gonna be right here. Now, the reason that I stopped myself from putting my sentiment on is because these little flip-flops are kind of tall, and I didn't want to cover them up. So I'm gonna put them right there. Now, let me look. Okay, I'm gonna peel this one off, and I'm gonna move this one up just a tad. Okay, we can keep him. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna be able to center him just like that. Okay, we've got him down. Then I have the little lotion bottle. I guess it's a tube, right? And that is this die right here. And I die cut it out twice, once in Pool Party and once in white. And then I cut out the little center and adhered it down. And then this is the bottom piece. And I did that one in, what is that? Lost Lagoon. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna put it flat right here. Just right up there next to our little float. And then, of course, you have to have sunglasses. So I did the sunglasses, which is this one, okay, in Melon Mambo. And then from Silver Foil, it's also a single die that will punch out those two centers. And I just love this. You could have made them black, you could have done whatever, but I loved that the silver just kind of makes them extra sparkly. And then these are I've got them on mini dimensionals, and I'm just gonna sit those right there, just like that, okay? And there's your card. So it opens like this, okay? And then they can flip this up, and you have your message. So how cute is that? And so simple, right? It's adorable. And we're not going to add any other embellishments. You could if you wanted. I'm just going to leave it as is because I think the sunglasses kind of add enough shimmer to it. And then you've got this little piece down here. So again, I will have all the measurements up on the Creative Cove for you shortly. I also have another card that I'm putting together for you. I'm doing the same thing, and I'll have that up as well. So check that out. If you have any questions, you can go back and watch the replay, or of course you can definitely reach out. The one thing I want to remind you is, like I said, this Sunday, registration closes for Stampin' Bunko and for Stamp-A-Stack. So make sure if you're interested in either of those that you get registered before it closes on Sunday evening. And be watching. I'll have more information up about the online BOGO and the upcoming classes for the month of July. So if you need anything, please let me know. Feel free to reach out. You can text me, email me, of course, or even message me here on Facebook. And I appreciate you being here. So everyone have a great rest of your weekend. I'm actually off tomorrow for Juneteenth and have a whole to-do list. So hopefully I'll get those things done, and you do too. So enjoy yourself, and I will see you all back next week. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.